Hi, I'm Gary Knutson, owner-operator of Knutson Farm, where I run this farm with my wife Sandy and son Kyle, and I'd like to welcome you to our webpage. We run a registered Angus herd of cattle and also market some of our hay that we don't feed. We develop all of our bulls and all the cattle on hay with no grains, and have done this for the last 4 years, and we're happy with what we're seeing. We put a lot of emphasis on growing good hay to feed these cattle, and for our bull customers, they really like it because the cattle seem to hold together for them. When they turn them out on grass, they continue to put on weight, and when they bring them in the fall, they look good. And it's a low maintenance deal for those guys because they don't have to baby them by putting them on grain to put condition back on them. They just can run in any yard with a good bale of hay, and it's simple management for our customers too. The varieties of hay we grow here, we raise alfalfa, softleaf, tall fescue mix, and then we also run a straight fescue orchard grass mix, and that hay works out real well because it's all cut pre-bloom, and it's very digestible. The cattle perform well on it, and the protein's good, and it's all fed with no tub grinding. We feed it long stem. Like to put enough scratch on that rumen to keep that animal's rumen working healthy and stuff, and it's worked well for us. Here's a sample of some of our fescue alfalfa mixed hay, and you can see how soft it is, and this is really what cattle like. They waste very little of this. It's very palatable.
It's definitely been a bit of a challenge the last couple of years getting the hay crop up with the more persistent rains that we've had. The humidity level, it can leave the dews in the morning that make it almost seem like you've gotten a tenth of an inch of rain overnight. So we've definitely tried to take every advantage that we can with our equipment line. Some of the tools that we have here at the farm is a Massey Heston windrower. You can knock a lot of hay down in a day. If you hit it hard, you can usually get over 100 acres down. It's got a double crimp on the head, and it'll crimp the hay about every 1.5 inches. We try to set it up so it just squeezes that juice out. It doesn't break the ends and allow dew to get back in there. And I mean, the name of the game is getting it cured in a timely fashion. The faster you can get that hay baled up and stored, the better chance you have at getting a nice premium quality product for both our own operation and for hay buyers alike. Dad and I have used a couple different styles of rakes through the years. We've got a V-rake that works well if it's a little thinner crop later in the fall trying to get a fourth cutting. The problem with earlier crops, when it's so thick, you can kind of twine it together and it almost doesn't allow enough airflow in there to get it cured out. Or if you do get a heavy dew, it just kind of sits in the center of that. So that's where we've come to like the Klaus rotary rake. It's like a revolving set of pitchforks. It just fluffs that crop up, puts a nice windrow together, allows the airflow to get in there and get her in the bale chamber in a quicker time. Well, here at Knutson Farm, it's just my dad and I for the most part that are running the equipment. Mom pitches in once in a while to run the rakes and is just starting to learn on the balers. Dad, about a year or two ago, thought it would be to our advantage to invest in having 2 balers going up and down the field. We've got a John Deere 568 and a John Deere 569 that are both equipped with moisture sensors so that we know just what moisture content is going into that bale. It can change so much in a field from a low spot that might be few percentage points higher than where you might go to the top of the hill and get that baled first, where it's at that 14 to 16% range. We like getting a high dense bale. We've gotten them to where they average in that 1,800 to 2,000 pound range. They're about a 6 foot high bale. They stack really well. They've got a nice tight density to them. And everything's net wrapped, so that if there is a rain that would go through in between getting it off the field and under our hoop barns, it's going to be protected and shed that water off and keep the crop protected.
Last year we put up a couple new hoop barns on our place, and they've worked out real well. What I like about it is the hay keeps its condition. When we sell hay to a customer, we know he's buying 100% hay, not buying any waste on that bale, because they pick up a lot of moisture over the year. And the other thing, when you go to all the work of putting up good hay, it just made good sense for us to try to keep the condition as good as we could.
One other thing I'd like to point out for people interested in buying hay, and this is certainly an advantage that we enjoy having just as operators here on the farm, is having an open space in the yard for getting wagons in and out. Buyers will find it convenient. They can come right in the yard and circle around, and we'd be happy to load you up. And you'd be able to get out of here. You don't have to worry about loading up in a muddy field and getting stuck. Or if it's middle of winter and you're buying hay, we keep things cleared out so that it's real convenient for truckers to get in and out. So.
Another thing we really like about the way we're managing these cattle now with the hay and grass is the herd health has improved a lot. You never upset the structure of that rumen when you never change really their diets. When we wean calves, the only thing we're taking away from them is the milk and probably the grass that they're out on pasture on. And once they get weaned and the ball out of them, we turn them back out on these fescue fields, and they're there until the snow covers the ground up. It's just a simple way to manage cattle. They continue to grow well, and the soft leaf fescue is one of the best feeds you'll ever feed because it's so highly digestible. And the cattle continue to grow, they're content, and it works out well for us. Again, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to look at our webpage, and probably you'll have a better understanding of what we're doing here and why we do it. And hopefully we can visit with you someday on the phone or stop by the farm anytime and take a look at what we got going on here. Thank you.